Hi, I'm Mark from Coffee Break Languages, and I am here with another club update. This is our Coffee Break Club, our on-demand video library for French, German, Spanish and Italian learners. Now, if you are already a club member, then you can access all the videos that I'm going to be talking about today on the club. If you're not and you would like to subscribe, then you can simply head to coffeebreaktv.com and choose your subscription for monthly, quarterly or annual, and these start at just $19.99 per month. Okay, let's get straight on with today's update, and we're going to first focus on our Italian videos. Let's take a look at one of Francesca's latest translation challenges.
Allora, la nostra prima frase è At the seaside we rested a lot. Ok, via, 10 secondi. Benissimo, la traduzione è al mare, ci siamo riposati o riposate molto. Let's have a look at this sentence more in detail. So, at the seaside, al mare. The verb to rest in Italian is to rest oneself. So there is the idea of somehow a reflexive action. The infinitive is riposarsi. As you probably already know, reflexive verbs or verbs with a reflexive structure are always conjugated with essere in compound tenses. So we need essere here. Siamo, the past participle of riposare, and it can either be riposati if it's a mixed group or men only, riposate if it's women only, and then we need the pronoun ourselves, which, as you know, is placed before the verb. So ci siamo riposati, riposate a lot. Molto.
Another video which has proved very popular recently is a coffee break with Francesca and me, where we were looking at some rather specific Italian ailments. Let's take a look.
Sì, è importantissimo aspettare dopo un pranzo abbastanza importante. È importante aspettare 3 ore prima di fare il bagno al mare o in piscina.
In piscina, anche in piscina, anche in piscina. So let's look at some expressions about health, but related to digestion and things like that today. Allora, Francesca, qual è la prima cosa, la prima frase o la prima parola?
La prima parola che mi viene in mente è camomilla.
Camomilla, like chamomile?
Sì, because in Italy we don't drink camomilla as a normal drink, like in the same way we drink coffee or another herbal tea, but camomilla is something that we associate to not feeling well.
Okay, so this is like an infusion, like a chamomile tea. Okay, and we've got to remember that there's a double L in this, camomilla.
Bravissimo, Mark.
Okay. So that's our first word.
Let's move on to Spanish now. One of my favourite types of videos on the Coffee Break Club are our Where Am I Today videos, our postcard videos, or Donde me encuentro hoy in Español. And in this video, this recent video, Concha is trying to work out where Annabelle is. Let's take a look.
Let's try and work out what these clues mean together. Ayer aterrizamos y llegamos al hotel en barco. Fue muy divertido. Ayer aterrizamos y llegamos. These two verbs are conjugated in the preterite. Aterrizar, which is to land, and llegar, which means to arrive. They are both conjugated in the person nosotros, and they are both regular. So we can see that the conjugations match the ones in the present tense. Al hotel, to the hotel. And notice how the preposition and the article here become one word. As you may remember, this happens when we have the preposition a and the article el.
Another set of videos which are proving very popular are our discovery videos. These are where you learn something interesting about the world but practice your language skills while doing so. In this video, Annabelle is talking about some changes to the New Zealand flag.
Las banderas son símbolos de los países a los que pertenecen y es difícil imaginar que alguna vez vayan a cambiar. No obstante, eso era lo que Nueva Zelanda iba a hacer en 2015. El país celebró un referéndum de 2 etapas pidiendo a sus ciudadanos que votaran sobre la idea de cambiar la bandera nacional. En la primera etapa, los votantes elegían entre varios diseños de bandera. En la segunda etapa, había que elegir entre la bandera ganadora de la primera etapa, un diseño de Kyle Lockwood con un helecho plateado, y la bandera existente del país. Los votantes optaron por mantener la bandera original de Nueva Zelanda, por lo que no se hizo ningún cambio. That's our text today, so now we are going to go back to the first sentence and start looking at the grammar and vocabulary.
Moving on to German and a new SIP video. This is our study, investigation, practice videos where we're looking at grammatical concepts. And in this one, Olivera's here to tell us about the word ob, which means whether.
Alles klar. Let's take a look at our study section of this video. Also, ob is a German word that can be translated as whether in English. We use it for reported questions and information that isn't sure. Ob is a connector that introduces subordinate clauses, and in the ob subordinate clause, the conjugated verb goes to the very end of the clause, so we see a difference in word order here. Alles klar. Let's take a better look at this in the investigation section of this video.
Danke, Olivera. Now, probably the most popular videos on the club are our translation challenges. This is where we give you 10 seconds to translate a sentence in English into the other language. So here's Thomas with an example.
Let's have a look at our very last sentence for today's challenges. This month, she's not eating meat. Noch einmal 10 Sekunden. Ausgezeichnet. Klasse. This month, diesen Monat, isst sie kein Fleisch. So again, another negation, and again, we're putting the kein in front of the meat, the Fleisch here to make it negative. Also important to remember, essen is one of those irregular verbs, of those strong verbs in the present tense. So essen for du isst and sie isst with a double S. Okay, diesen Monat, we have the accusative at the start here because en at the end, Monat is masculine, diesen Monat. And then, as he said, isst sie kein Fleisch, just to remember to always put the verb in that second position in that sentence.
Last but not least, let's take a look at our French videos. For this one, I was joined by Leah and we talked about expressions to mean that you're busy. For example, être débordé.
Alors, la première expression que tu as choisie est laquelle?
Alors, c'est être débordé in the masculine or feminine form. So for the feminine, you would add an I at the end.
Okay, être débordé. And this is when you've got so much to do. Perhaps you're almost even a little bit overwhelmed.
Yes.
Yeah.
It actually means to... Déborder means to overflow.
Yes. So if you imagine you're pouring water into a glass and it overflows, that's when the water déborde.
Yes.
Très bien. Okay, so it's very common to say this in French. You can be débordé for any number of reasons, but you can simply say je suis débordé.
Oui, on peut dire ça.
Right, okay. Let's look at an example.
So, désolé, je ne peux pas venir ce soir. Je suis débordé.
So I'm sorry, I can't come this evening. I am overloaded with work. I'm very busy. I mean, we could simply say être occupé. Occupé is busy.
Yes, we could. Those are synonyms.
So occupé, je suis occupé, I'm busy. But I kind of feel that débordé suggests you're a little bit busier than occupé.
I think you have a lot more on if you're débordé.
And talking of having a lot more on, that leads us into our next expression, doesn't it?
Yes, it does.
I love this one.
Avoir du pain sur la planche.
And our final featured video for French is a new style of video focusing on dictation. This is a skill that many of you have asked to practice with the Coffee Break Club, and that's what we're doing. So we've got new dictation videos, and here is an example with Max.
La troisième phrase, third sentence. Il y a des melons, des pastèques et beaucoup d'autres fruits. Il y a des melons, des pastèques et beaucoup d'autres fruits. 10 secondes. OK, il y a des melons, des pastèques et beaucoup d'autres fruits. Melon, pastèque, autres, and fruits all have a silent S here. So there are melons, watermelons, and many other fruits. Des melons, des pastèques. Beaucoup is the tricky one to spell here. The sound O can be spelled with an O, or AU, or EAU. Usually it's EAU at the end of a word. Beaucoup is an exception. B-E-A-U. Beaucoup.
Merci beaucoup, Max. So all of this material is already available on the Coffee Break Club, and there are lots of new videos coming soon too. To access it all, simply head to coffeebreaktv.com or use our app, which is available for iOS, Android, Roku, and Apple TV. If you're a club member, don't forget to check your inbox every Saturday morning for our weekly club updates. That's it for this update. I hope you've enjoyed it. Until the next time, merci beaucoup, vielen Dank, grazie molte, muchas gracias, and happy coffee breaking.